Hi there, friends. I'll come in here with a quick note to let you know that the first global Product Owner Summit organized by the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast is coming soon. To know more, check out the bit.ly/Product Owner 2023. That's bit.ly/Product Owner 2023. That's all one word, all lowercase. And stick around to the end of the episode to know more. But for now, on to the show. Hi, I'm your host Vasco Duarte. Welcome to the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast, where we share tips and tricks from Scrum Masters around the world. Every day, we bring you inspiring answers to important questions that all Scrum Masters face day after day. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Success Thursday here on the podcast. This week, we have with us Alina Thapliyal. Hey, Alina. Welcome back.
Hi, Vasco. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And for those of you, if you haven't heard it yet, check out yesterday's episode where we talk about how small changes in how we look at the world can cause big changes around us. So definitely a great change episode with Alina yesterday. But today we're talking about success right after this, which is where we talk about Alina's favorite retrospective format. So Alina, tell us, what is your favorite retrospective format and why?
Yeah, well, the way what I did so far is to do a little bit of alternating type of retrospectives. Like sometime I would use a template, sometimes it's a little bit more open with an agenda, and there are good things for both of them, because when I prepare a template, let's say there are hundreds of they're very helpful. And so I usually use this when I want a little bit creativity and spontaneity from the team, because they don't know what I have prepared. They're like, well, okay, what topic is that? So it's good for getting things spontaneously. But there are also situations when people need time to think about it. They need time to find solution or to understand problems. So what I would do, and it's sort of a like snake on the wall, but not so complicated. It's like during the sprint, I would collect topics, like somebody says, oh, this and this and this and that. And I say, let's take it to retrospective if we don't have time to talk now. And anyway, in the retrospective, it's like almost everyone is there or everybody is there, and we can discuss this as a team. So I would collect these topics and then send it out in the agenda, and then people get time to prepare their answers, to prepare solutions, like when we need time to think about it. So that's the good thing, to alternate the retrospectives. Another thing which I would really like to alternate is who is holding the retrospective, because I think that when only the Scrum Master does this, it doesn't matter how many times the templates are changed or are changed. It's still your style. It has your signature there. But I imagine like this: if we sit at a round table and I am holding the retrospective all the time, I mostly look ahead, right? So I have this perspective. Sure, I can turn around from time to time, but then I lose the other ones. If somebody else does it and we rotate this in a matter of like 4 or 5 sprints, or depending how big the team is, you get the whole 360-degree view. And to have others prepare the retrospective brings a new perspective to the team. The whole team can benefit out of this. And we were lucky enough that we had 2 volunteers in our team, and they said, yeah, we're gonna do it. And yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
This reminds me of the Monday episode when you shared about that one new team member that came in and just asked that funny question that led to a big change, right? And
Yeah.
this reminds me of the same, and I think it's maybe the idea that you shared, like, taking different perspectives, and if you go around the round, you will eventually get all the perspectives, right? And I was just thinking we can take this even further. and take that perspective of, looking at the team and so on from different eyes. We
Yeah.
can say, hey, why don't we have a product owner led retrospective, or why don't we have a dependent team led retrospective? Right, of course they need to be ready for it and
Yeah.
willing. Obviously you can't
Yeah.
force
Yeah.
people to do that.
Mm.
But you can say, hey, we're always talking about the things that we need from other teams. How about if we get somebody from another team to hold a retrospective, so
Yeah.
that we can look at what they need from us?
Yeah. 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 And they bring this new thing. These, like, they come from the outside and they see things that we don't see because we are too deep inside in our team, you know?
And
So
they give
yeah.
importance to different things too. Like
Yes.
maybe
Yes.
maybe they even see everything we see. It's just that for them, different things from those matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
And talking about matter and the different perspectives, of course, Success Thursday is really also about implementing this idea that you just described, which is, let's look at success for Scrum Masters from all of these
Yeah.
perspectives. More than 400 perspectives collected so far. So
Yeah.
let's get one more, Alina, and share with us what's your perspective on what success means for you as a Scrum Master.
Yeah, well, let's say the story starts when I was really, really young. I believe I was mm, general school or so, and I remember friends from my family coming over, and they share their problems, mostly financial problems, you know. And I was sitting there, and I was like 7, 8 years old, and in that at that time, I could find ways in my mind of how to motivate them. I thought, oh, if I could motivate them, they could do this, they could do that. Maybe if I have a big business and I can hire them, you know. I really had this urge to help people and to motivate them. And I remember in high school, uh, many of my colleagues, they didn't want to, like, say, play with me or be with me because you are too optimistic, you know, you screw everything up, you know. and and then I remember I once applied for a team leader position, and one of the reasons I was rejected is like, you focus too much on motivation, you know. And but this is who I am, you know. So for me, successful is because before we are Scrum Master, before we are CEOs, before we have all these beautiful titles for which we work so hard, we are human beings, you know. We don't need to forget about that. And as a human being, I will call myself successful if I could help this one person in the team to find his or her potential, like truly discover their potential, because there's a lot of good things there. There is a lot of strength. There is a lot of value. And unfortunately, the work environment or life happened, and we forget to bring those values to show who exactly we are. So as I said, if I could help at least one person to motivate it to become, to reach this potential, because once this is there, then you have people who are creative, you have people who are motivated, and it's this intrinsic motivation that they want to do something. And then in the end, you reach to build products and or solutions which are really tailored to what the customer actually needs. That's that's the success for me.
Absolutely. And as you were describing this, I was just thinking, very often we think about success as Scrum Masters as getting ourselves out of the picture, right? Like, if the team can do things on their own and so on. And I was thinking the way you described it, which is like helping others find their potential, is a very actionable way for us to define and also take on success in practice. And it's still aligned with the idea of stepping back and letting the team go, because that's what potential is, right? When somebody reaches their potential, they are ready to take on whatever comes, right? Whether
Yes.
it's life, a problem at work, a performance optimization, a bug that they can't
It,
discover, like anything,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was just thinking, okay, so we need to maybe investigate this a little bit more. So walk us through what is in your mind that point in time for someone of finding their potential? Like how how
Mhm.
how do you go about it? What does it mean in your mind when somebody finds their potential?
Well, first I would like to say what I have in mind to do to help someone discover his or her potential. And it can be with starting with little things, to show respect, to show that you care, to show that you are there for them whenever they need you, up to the point when they say, we don't need you anymore. And what we did is I created a kudos board where we put appreciation, where we put thank you notes for the team members, for how they acted in different situations, for the ideas they brought. And one more thing that I did is a discovery type of meeting, which actually was a failed retrospective because half a team was sick and the other half was in vacation. So I had to change everything and make it a different type of meeting. And I call it discovery because we don't need to look too deep inside. We don't need to ask these tough questions for retrospect, for inspecting. We just need to discover who we are. And what I did is that meeting was about strength, about individual strength, about team strength, and about motivation. So what we did is we made this tree where we hang the strength of the team there and the individual strength there, and then the motivations. What motivates us? Are we living this motivation? Is there enough motivation here in our team? And this should be a reminder of how strong we are, the building this resilience. Because sure, there will be difficult moments, sure there will be frustrating moments, sure there will be our failures, but we should not be afraid of this if we know who we are and if we know that we have the potential to move mountains.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, it is metaphorical. We're not literally moving mountains,
Yeah.
but sometimes small problems can feel like a mountain is on our shoulders. And
Yes.
from that perspective, I think the metaphor is very applicable.
Yes.
When we see a team member that comes in sad, perhaps worried, stressed out, on the
Yeah.
verge of burnout, that will definitely be a mountain for that person.
And that means to see people as human being and not as titles or functions. Just show this empathy.
Yeah, absolutely. See people as human beings. I think I could not have said it better. Well said, Alina. Thank you for sharing it with us.
Thank you, Ashko.
Hi there, Agile friends. Thank you for sticking around. This year's first global summit dedicated to the product owner role in Scrum will have some amazing keynotes and 2 tracks filled with first-hand stories and experiences for product owners to learn more about that critical Scrum role. We'll have Roman Pichler, author and product expert, who will be answering your questions and sharing the most important aspects of the product owner role. We'll also have Colleen Johnson talking about why roadmaps are probably making your life much harder than it needs to be and what to do instead. This talk was quite a success in Agile Online Summit 2022, and Colleen has learned some new tricks, tools, techniques that she will share with us when it comes to roadmaps for the product owner role. And we will also have Henrik Nyberg, author of Scrum and Kanban from the Trenches, as well as one of the creators of the Spotify model. So come in and listen to his stories. And we'll also have, of course, 2 tracks with many more sessions and even some live sessions. The 2 tracks will cover practices every product owner should know, where we'll be hosting conversations on topics that product owners need to be familiar with, like product backlog refinement, planning, and much more. The second track will be on metrics, measuring product and personal success as a product owner. As product owners, it's crucial to have a clear understanding of what are the metrics that drive success for us, and of course also for the products and businesses that we work with, and we need to continuously measure and optimize those metrics. So in this track, we'll be sharing what's working and what's not in the area of measuring success for product owners. We will also have the opportunity to network with our peers. It's a network event, of course, so get your tickets and join our Slack. Go to bit.ly/Product Owner 2023. That's all one word, all lowercase. As always, we will have free tickets and VIP tickets, which will give you long-term access to the content of this summit. So check them out at bit.ly/Product Owner 2023. All lowercase, all one word. I'll see you on the summit floor.